A very good morning, dear listeners. Children, today we are going to do another poem of our English reader book, that is First Flight. So, the title of the poem is Animals. Like we are doing third poem on animals in this book, First Flight. So, the editor of the book really seems to be an animal lover. Children, Animals is a beautiful poem sketched by Walt Whitman, a famous American poet, a very famous American poet, Walt Whitman. So, Animals poem is written to draw a comparison between animals and humans, right? So, Whitman has written this poem to draw a comparison between animals and humans. Like, in fact, in the poem, he shows how animals are better than human beings. And how, as they are more empathetic than humans, animals are more empathetic than humans. So, let's read the text of the poem in order to have a better understanding of the same. See, in the title, he says, the poet tells us that he feels more at home with animals than humans, whom he finds complicated and false. About Walt Whitman, it is said that he feels more comfortable with animals than human beings because he finds human beings complicated and false. He finds them hypocritical. So he loves animals, he loves the world of animals, so he has penned down this poem. So let's read the text. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self contained. Placid, peaceful, calm, and self contained, the one who is complete in oneself, the one who is confident, right? So the poet here says that, he compares humans to animals, and he finds that animals have more virtues as compared to human beings, right? He feels that the life of animals is very peaceful as compared to man. In fact, if we talk of a human being's life, so that is full of stress, depression, and anxiety, right? So that's why he says, I think I could turn and live with animals. It means he feels that he should be enabled to, or he should make himself able to walk away from the life of human beings, and he wants to live in the company of animals, right? Why he wants to live in the company of animals? Because he feels that he would live a stress free life amongst animals. He believes that he will get real happiness while living among the animals, right? So this is what he has stated in first stanza. As he says, I stand and took at them long and long. So it means he has a strong longing, he has a strong desire to live among animals, right? So I hope stanza 1 is clear to all of you. you know uh, Second stanza is in fact more beautiful than the first one. See what he says. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not means animals do not sweat and whine. You know what he says? He says that animals do not sweat or complain about their condition as human beings always do, right? They do not sweat and whine. Whine means to complain about something, right? So they do not sweat, having getting sweat, getting perspiration. So human beings are all full of complaints. We have complained with this lockdown period, we have complained with the daily school going time, like with every other instance. If I say, human beings are always full of complaints that we don't get good enough, our life is so bad, our life is miserable, their life is good. So since there are many things which human beings often complain of, the poet Walt Whitman here states that animals never complain about their condition, right? Next, he says they do not awake in the dark and weep for their sins. So, they do not lie awake in the dark. He says that human beings, he means that human beings remain awake during night and cry for the wrong deeds they have done. They cry for their mistakes. Some of them repent having been done some wrong deeds in their life, right? So they also, in the next line he adds that they do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. So for animals, Walt Whitman states that animals do not lie awake at night. Animals sleep peacefully because they have not done anything wrong to anybody. They do not weep for their sins because they have never done the sins, right? So they have never hurt the feelings of anyone. So they do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with, right? So what he says that dissatisfied, the one who is not satisfied, and demented means insane, right? Mad, right? So what he says that human beings always lie awake. Many of them lie awake. They cannot they cannot sleep during night because they have done wrong deeds and they keep on thinking about their sins, while this is not the case with animals. So human beings have created such a scenario in their own life that they remain sick, they remain mentally sick, right? So while if to talk of animals, they do not make the poet sick by discussing their duty to God, right? So this has actually reached a level of obsession among some people, like which makes the poet feel sick at times. So, but animals, Whitman says, they are free from all this thought. They are quite happy as they don't idle away their time discussing the duties of God, that yes, we have to do this, we have to do that, we have to remember God, because they are so unknown to this world. They are, you may say, so aloof from these things that their life is so peaceful. So this is what the poet wants, a very peaceful and calm life. He wants tranquility, in fact, right? So what he says in the last line of second stanza, no one is dissatisfied, means no animal is dissatisfied, right? All are satisfied. Why? Because they cannot do anything to fulfill their needs. It is not in their hands to do anything. So he says that no one is dissatisfied and no one is demented with the mania of owning things, right? Owning, possessing material things. It means no one is demented with. Demented has been used as a verb here, means animals do not go mad after the possession of collecting things, opposite to humans. See, what is the tendency of human beings? As soon as they start earning, they begin thinking that we would get a new car, we would get a new air conditioner, or like material things like that. So they begin of collecting money, they begin of gathering gold, other jewelry, I mean to say, like whatever they wish, they begin to think of purchasing all those things. They begin to think about purchasing all those things. That's why the poet indirectly says that human beings have become mad in this race of earning money, right? And with the mania of owning things, mania of owning means a kind of madness is carried in their heads, right? So not one kneels to another, not to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one kneels to another. Very important line. What he says, he actually says that there is perfect equality among animals. Perfect equality. Above that, self-respect is there in the animal kingdom. Why? Why self-respect is considered? Because no animal has to bow to another animal. They all are equal and they remain satisfied. They don't have to kneel down. It's written, Not one kneels to another, not to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. It means they don't have to pray their ancestors. They don't have to do any formalities. They don't have to bow before one another, because they consider them as all equal. Here, in the world of human beings, they have to bow in front of their boss. They have to bow in front of their seniors in whatsoever position, in whatsoever institution or organization. So the juniors have to bow in front of, that is, the juniors have to wish their seniors, right? So no one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. No one here signifies no animal, right? No animal is unhappy. And he's next, he says that no one is respectable or unhappy. What he wants to say, that he actually wants to say that all of them are totally equal. They don't have any differences at all, right? So the poet refers to the human beings practice of kneeling down and praying before the images of their forefathers, their saints, sages, or warriors, like, or whosoever has created history, right? So whosoever has showed the path of wisdom to them, be it Sri Ram, Sri Krishna, or like Gautam Buddha, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, etc. Like there are many respectable position holders, so whom we worship. So as far as animals are concerned, they don't have to bow before others. So the poet has taken two aspects, means the religious gurus as well and the seniors as well, right? So I hope that's clear till now. Next is, he says that, so they show their relations to me and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself. They evince them plainly in their possession, right? Tokens here means the signs, right? Evince, I hope evince means to reveal something, to show, right? And here in this stanza, the poet says that he has a deep desire to learn from animals, right? He wishes that animals should share their manners with him, and he should he should make himself able to adapt to those manners, right? He actually has a desire to learn from animals' attitude, because animals do not have any kind of falsehood. They are true to oneself and they are true to others as well, right? The poet is quite surprised at this quality of animals, right? That's why he really wants to learn from them, right? So that's why he stresses that he wants to live among animals. Why? How we can learn something? We can learn something from others when we stay in their company, right? So he adds that I wonder where they get those tokens. Where they get those tokens means, he actually says, and he fails to understand that how these animals have got so much manners, how they are so sophisticated, right? Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? Negligently drop them? That means that negligence means a kind of ignorance, means not paying attention towards something, right? So what the poet says, that he is surprised at the manners of animals, right? He thinks that not only he himself, when he says did I pass, children, here did I pass doesn't mean did Walt Whitman pass. Here Walt Whitman is representing the entire human race. So Rajak, try to understand. He wants to say that he thinks that human beings have, negligently dropped those qualities a long time, huge time, he says. It means a long time ago. He means to say that people probably were well mannered, people probably were living a peaceful life in the past. It means he probably conveys that many years ago, or like if to talk of our forefathers, 4 generations back, 5 generations back, so they people used to live a peaceful life, right? And here he says that today's man, modern man, is not living a peaceful life. In fact, they are all running after collecting material things, so they cannot even sleep at night thinking of their day's activities. They are always hell bent on collecting the ways and means to earn more and more money and become materialistic. So spiritualism, a spirit of becoming true to oneself is missing among human beings, and the spirit that he is talking of is still there in animals, because animals are so selfless, so they are free of all the tensions and anxieties, right? They do not complain of anything, while human beings always keep on complaining. So they are so satisfied with their life. So eventually Walt Whitman wants to convey the idea that he wants to live the life of animals, right? He wants to live a peaceful life where there should be no greed for anything, where there should be no greed for materialistic things, right? So I hope you have well understood this poem, and do leave your questions in the comment box. I'll be happy to take that, right? So the answer key would for this poem would be provided shortly, and listen to the video again and again, and do let me if you have any queries in our live session, right? Thank you so much. Take care.